Hi everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to crochet a project bag. These bags can also be converted into yarn baskets, and in the video I'll be making the mini size, which is perfect for 1 or 2 skeins of yarn. You can find the free written pattern linked below in the description bar. It has a mini, midi and maxi size, and the maxi size can fit over 10 skeins of yarn. You will need Aran weight cotton yarn, a 4.5mm crochet hook, some scissors, a darning needle, and some stitch markers. If you don't have any stitch markers, you can just use safety pins or bobby pins. We're going to start the bag by making a spiral for the base. So create a slip knot and insert your crochet hook into the loop. To begin, chain 2. We're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So skip that first chain, and to single crochet, insert your hook into the next chain, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Place a stitch marker into the first single crochet. This will make it easy to spot where the round begins. And then we're going to place 5 more single crochets into that same chain. You should have 6 stitches in total. To start round 2, we're going to place 2 single crochets in each stitch. So remove the stitch marker from the first stitch. Place 1 single crochet into that first stitch. Place the stitch marker into the first stitch. And then place a second single crochet into that same stitch. Whenever you work into the stitch with a stitch marker, remove the stitch marker and replace it in the new first stitch of the round. We're going to place 2 single crochets in each stitch until the end of the round. At the end of round 2, you should have 12 stitches in total. To start round 3, we're going to single crochet into the first stitch. Place 2 single crochets into the next stitch. Repeat the pattern of single crochet and then 2 single crochets into the next stitch until the end of the round. You'll have 18 stitches in total. To start round 4, place 2 single crochets into the first stitch. Place 1 single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. Repeat the pattern of 2 single crochets into the same stitch, and then 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches until the end of the round. You'll have 24 stitches in total. For round 5, single crochet into the next 3 stitches. Place 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Repeat the pattern of single crochet into the next 3 stitches, and then place 2 single crochets into the same stitch until the end of the round. At the end of round 5, you'll have 30 stitches in total. To start round 6, place 2 single crochets into the first stitch. single crochet into the next 4 stitches. Repeat the pattern of 2 single crochets into the same stitch, and then single crochet into the next 4 stitches until the end of the round. You'll have 36 stitches in total. To start round 7, single crochet into the next 5 stitches. Place 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Repeat the pattern of single crochet into the next 5 stitches, and then place 2 single crochets into the same stitch until the end of the round. You'll have 42 stitches in total. To start round 8, we're going to single crochet into the first 4 stitches. Place 2 single crochets into the next stitch. We're now going to repeat the pattern of single crochet into the next 6 stitches. And then place 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Repeat this pattern until you have 2 stitches left in the round. Single crochet in the last 2 stitches. You'll have 48 stitches in total. To start row 9, single crochet into the first 3 stitches. Place 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Repeat the pattern of single crochet into the next 7 stitches, and then place 2 single crochets into the same stitch until you have 4 stitches left in the round. Single crochet in the last 4 stitches. You'll have 54 stitches in total. Single crochet in the first 2 stitches. Place 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Repeat the pattern of single crochet into the next 8 stitches, and then place 2 single crochets in the same stitch until you have 6 stitches left in the round. Single crochet in the remaining 6 stitches. You'll have 60 stitches in total. To start round 11, repeat the pattern of single crochet into the next 9 stitches. and then place 2 single crochets into the same stitch until the end of the round. You'll have 66 stitches in total. To start round 12, single crochet into the first 5 stitches. Place 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Repeat the pattern of single crochet into the next 10 stitches. And then place 2 single crochets into the same stitch until you have 5 stitches left in the round. Single crochet in the last 5 stitches. You'll have 72 stitches in total. To start round 13, we're going to repeat the pattern of place 2 single crochets into the first stitch. And then single crochet into the next 11 stitches. Repeat this pattern until the end of the round. You'll have 78 stitches in total. We've now finished the base of your bag, and the diameter of your spiral should measure about 15 centimeters or 6 inches wide. We're now going to crochet the sides of the bag. For round 1, you're just going to single crochet in each stitch in the round. At the end of the round, you'll have 78 stitches in total. Don't worry if your bag still looks flat after the first few rounds. It'll take about 5 to 10 rounds for the sides to start to stand up. And you're going to repeat round 1 until the end of round 25. And just to make it easy to count the rounds along the side of the bag, I'm also going to put a stitch marker into the first round. So the dark blue stitch marker will stay in place in round 1, and the light blue stitch marker will continue to move into the first stitch of every round. And then repeat round 1 until round 25. So I've just finished round 5, and you can see that the edges of the bag are starting to stand up. If your bag is still flat, make sure that you have the same number of stitches every round. Also make sure your tension, which is how tightly you hold your yarn, stays the same and it doesn't get looser. And this is what your bag should look like after 25 rounds. The sides of your bag should measure about 13 centimeters or 5 inches tall. I have the right side facing me, and you can spot the right side because your stitches will look like V's instead of horizontal lines. Now we're going to crochet the first strap. We're going to start row 1 by single crocheting 2 together. So to single crochet 2 together, insert your hook into the first stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. Insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. If you need to, you can continue to place your stitch marker in the first stitch of every row so it's easy for you to spot. Single crochet 2 together into the next 2 stitches. We're then going to single crochet into the next 21 stitches. So right now you'll have 23 stitches in the row in total. You'll have the 2 single crochets 2 together and then 21 single crochets. And then we're going to single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet 2 together one more time. So in total you should have 25 stitches in row 1 of your strap. We're now going to skip 9 stitches and then place a stitch marker into the next stitch. This stitch marker is where we'll start the second strap. Turn your work. We're going to start row 2 by chaining 1, and throughout this pattern, chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. We're going to skip the first stitch and then single crochet into the next stitch. And then we're going to single crochet across in each stitch until the second to last stitch from the end of the row. We're not going to single crochet into the last stitch of the row. You'll have 23 stitches in total. Turn your work. For rows 3 and 4, we're just going to repeat row 2. So chain 1, skip the first stitch, and then single crochet in each stitch across until the second to last stitch from the row, and then turn your work. At the end of row 3, you'll have 21 stitches, and at the end of row 4, you'll have 19 stitches. To start row 5, we're going to chain 1, and then skip the first stitch, and then we're going to single crochet in each and every stitch, including the last stitch of the row. So at the end of row 5, you'll have 18 stitches in total. Turn your work. We're going to repeat row 5 until the end of row 9, and after each row, your stitch count will decrease by 1. So at the end of row 6, you should have 17 stitches. At the end of row 7, you should have 16 stitches. At the end of row 8, you should have 15 stitches. And at the end of row 9, you should have 14 stitches. For row 10, chain 1. Single crochet in each stitch across. You'll have 14 stitches in total. Turn your work. Repeat row 10 until the end of row 27. And your strap should measure about 14 centimeters or 5.5 inches tall. Fasten off. Flip your bag over and we're now going to crochet the second strap. To crochet the second strap, we're going to insert our hook 1 stitch to the left of the stitch marker we placed during row 1 of the first strap. Secure your yarn and pull up a loop. Chain 1. And you're just going to follow the same instructions as the first strap until the end of row 25. However, at the end of row 1, you don't need to skip any stitches and insert another stitch marker along the edge of the bag because you've already crocheted the first strap. Once you've finished your second strap, fasten off. So right now, the right side of the bag is facing us, and we're going to turn the bag inside out so that the wrong side is facing us. Thread a darning needle with a strand of yarn and whip stitch the tops of the straps together to form a handle. Once you've sewn the straps together, turn the bag inside out so the right side is facing you. We'll now crochet the edging. Along one of the edges, insert your crochet hook at the top of the handle. Secure your yarn and pull up a loop. Chain 1. We're going to slip stitch evenly along the edge of the handle. When you reach the curve of the handle, smooth out your bumps by spacing the stitches evenly in a curved line. And here you can see the difference between the side with edging and the side without. Continue to slip stitch evenly along the edge of the handle until you reach the first stitch of the round. When you reach the first slip stitch to join and fasten up. Repeat the edging steps for the second edge. Weave in all of your ends. You've finished your crochet project bag.